Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome into round number 5 of the 2026 MX Simulator Pro Supercross Championship presented by Underground RC, live here on Start Your Systems. My name is Kellen Brower, solo hosting this week. I know it's been a lot of fun with all the guests that we've had in studio the past few weeks, but unfortunately, just myself tonight. It was supposed to be me and our usual cohort, Andrew Wood, here this evening, but he is down bad with some sickness right now. Actually had some stay in the urgent care earlier today, so we wish him well. We hope he feels better soon. But it is just going to be me in the booth this evening for Glendale, one of my favorite races of the year. This track is going to be awesome. We'll talk about that track in a minute. But before we do, we got to talk about qualifying. And this is one of the longer racetracks of the evening. So let's get into this 450 class. Braden Carter, our 4-time champion who has not won a main event this year, is our fastest qualifier so far. We will wait to get one final refresh of the servers here in just a little bit. But as of right now, Carter on top of the 59.5, just by a nose over championship leader Seth Carr and his teammate also in the 59.5 range as well. Seth Shirley, first podium of the season last week after missing the main event at Anaheim 2, rebounds with a 3.22 at the Triple Crown at Houston, goes third fastest here at Glendale to kick off his evening at a 59.8. Walter Gebhardt and reigning champion Colby Eagland round out the top 5. Get a good look at where everyone is lined up inside of that top 15 as we scroll down. Look for your favorite name, favorite rider on the list here this evening. And, of course, the Fast 40 riders make it into the night show. As of right now, Bryce Whelan on that cutoff line, former champion in the 250 class. And it is going to be nip and tuck to try to make it into the Fast 40 tonight. Let's go 250 West. Jackson Vick has been nailing these qualifying performances of late, and he goes fastest again, a 102.1, half a second faster than current points leader Cash Woods on a 102.632. Crazy to see the difference there in speed for the 250 class versus 450 class. Basically 3 seconds difference, and it probably has to do a lot with some big boy lines the 450s can huck out through these rhythm lanes. Dylan Delaire, Evan Holt, Wyatt Grant, all familiar faces at the sharp end of the field for qualifying up here again inside of the top 5. But a few other faces starting to mix it up on a regular basis. Ryder Darrigo up here with Ryan Pinkerton, Christopher Harris, Dan White, and Luke Fauser rounding out our top 10 here tonight. So good to see those guys mixing it up as well. Once again, try to find your favorite competitors. The only guy who is not named Cash Woods that has won a race so far this year is Jeremy Schiabro, as he won Anaheim 2 weeks ago, and he qualifies 17th here this evening. Looking down the list all the way down to our final qualifying positions. Once again, only the Fast 40 make it through, and we talk about that 102 that the top guys put down. Well, if you are within 3 seconds of them, you're in. But after that, Austin Baer, Justin Miner, Carter Greer, and the rest look like they're outside looking in. Tough break for them. We'll get a refresh of that one more time before we go racing, but I do want to look at our standings before we do that. And if you've missed us through the first 4 rounds of this championship, Cash Woods has gone full X Games mode in this 250 West division. 3 wins from 4 races and a second-place finish otherwise at A2 has him up 29 points over Schiabro, the other winner in this series. And Joey Carter sits third, 39 back. Austin Schaefer, Tom Quinault in the top 5. But it's very much a Cash Woods series at this point. Very much feels like how Hayden Deegan has laid claim in our 250 West class IRL. On the flip side, the 450 class starting to maybe tighten up ever so slightly. Seth Carr has been solid, of course, with the 3 wins to his name as well, but the one blemish was a ride through the field at Anaheim 2. And if he has another bad start here tonight in Glendale, he would have a tough time getting through as well. What we're still waiting to see is Braden Carter and Colby Eagland, who fought tooth and nail for this championship just 1 year ago, are still winless through 4, and they are looking to rebound and try to get back in the mix. As we mentioned with Alexis Leclerc, down in P9, he is the only other winner on the season so far, as he sits 50 back. He was a struggle bus last week in the Triple Crown, barely made it in, actually only made it in after he was granted entry after being punted out of a battle for a transfer spot in the last chance qualifier. So we'll look to see if the Fast Frenchman, the 2018 champ, can rebound here tonight. Like I said, I wanted to get one more refresh of qualifying just to make sure I'm not missing anything. And then we will jump in the server and talk about these races. So we'll go over to qualifying again. And it did stay the same at the top of 450s and the same at the top of 250s. So we're good there. that is enough of that. Let's talk about this racetrack, and here is a fantastic view of it inside IRL State Farm Stadium, but we call it Race Factory Stadium here in the game. And a long start straight into a left-hand sweeper through a rhythm lane that turns as you go down it into the sand section across the start line, and then back down the start straight all the way to the other end of the stadium into another sand section before the finish line. We'll see how those sand sections break down as the night goes on. There is a road system in this game. It maybe doesn't look as good as other games you guys may play, but it does break down. It does get some chop, and the ruts that you will see will be formed throughout the racing this evening. But there are several rhythm lanes on this track. A whoop section after the big double across the start will prove to be reckless for some 250 guys, and we're excited to see how that all shakes down. Might as well jump in the server and get a look at this track for ourselves, as we can see here on the screen now. We're also going to make sure that we have our timing and scoring and everything else up to date for you guys to watch here this evening. But a big thanks to everyone who's tuning in here tonight, whether you're watching on Twitch or YouTube. Numbers have been awesome this year. I figured they would go down just a little bit not having a awesome guest host here this evening, and they are down a little bit, but maybe we'll get riled up for those main events. How about we watch someone rip around this track? Who's out there right now? Joey Carter, Dr. Do Racing. Look at that Fox helmet with a fin on it. And he's got those throwback boots from 2019 when they had the A1 special edition kit there for Kenny Roxon. Otherwise, he's got his, I don't know what gear they run. I think it's just some special thing. But it is pretty sweet. And I feel bad because I totally made Joey Carter look like an idiot on Instagram yesterday. Because we went all the way back to A1 when he brake checked Dalton Caudill. And then Caudill lit him up in the very next corner. So fun times had all around. Looks like we're getting qualifying set here in just a moment to go racing for 250 West Heat number 1. I want to make sure I get my timing and scoring up for me to be able to see. And I'll make sure you guys can see it as well. But here's a good overview of this racetrack. I love this stadium, man. I don't know how much you guys pay attention to the racetracks that are built every single week, but this is as good as it gets. This is a massive floor space to work with. And sometimes I don't even feel like they use it effectively. For example, I feel like this track, they could have done maybe even a little bit more than they did, but they certainly fit a lot of racetrack in here, and I love it, and I hope you guys will as well. So there it is, 250 Heat number 1 coming at you. We'll get a graphic on screen so you guys can follow along with us throughout the night and know what races are going to the line. It is 250 Heat number 1. And Nicholas Langstrup, J.R. Reyes, Jackson Lindsay, Luke Fowler, Emmanuel Cepeda, Christopher Harris, Evan Cormack, Andre Feitosa, Caden Wharton, Sonny Spicer, Max Wilczek, Evan Holt, Braxton Martin, Brandon Walter, Ryder Derigo, Raphael Provost, Bodie Parker, Ryder Bednar, your points leader Cash Woods, and Jeff Cooper, all on the line for this one. Also want to give a shout out to my guy, Jer Binks is what he's known at on Twitch. That is the co-founder of Start Your Systems, hanging out a little bit more lately. Great to see him back. That's Jeremy Hinners over on the Twitch side. So if you guys are over there on Twitch, be sure to say what's up to my boy Hinners. Always cool to see him around, and appreciate him still stopping by and watching these races, man. I know he's a family man now. I feel like we've all grown up from those early days of starting this channel together. Great to see him, and great to see all you guys here tonight. All right, let's get a quick refresh. This happens if you're new to Supercross here in MX Simulator. There's so much stuff to load into the game to make sure that we can see everyone that I always get timed out of the server. But that's the whole point of being able to see all these riders on your screen and see the kits that they're running, except Luke Fowler, who never sends me his stuff, is so that we can actually see what they're running. And it's some good kits here tonight. I like Evan Holtz's gear. That's solid right there. Alpine Star stuff. Is this some Liat stuff? Look at Liat making a comeback. Manuel Cepeda ripping it. Shout out the LBK More Than Moto podcast. Hopefully you guys tune in every week to that to see myself and Lewis Phillips argue about motocross. But it is time for the opening heat race of the night. 250 Heat 1. This is the top 9 riders headed to the main event. Everybody else will head to the last chance qualifier. 6 minutes plus a lap coming at you here in the desert of Arizona. Let's go racing. Round 5. Oh, that long start's going to catch some guys out, and we got some chaos up the inside as a lot of guys go down. We're trying to see who's there first. Looks like it was between Holtzy and Cash Woods, but it is going to be your points leader, Cash Woods, who picks up the whole shot here in the opening heat race of the night. And scrubbing out a second, that was J.R. Reyes going down, and Woods goes down as well. So we're already seeing some early chaos being caused by these long rhythm lanes and guys just not being able to get through them smoothly. So our points leader's down. We'll try to check in where he's at. And yes, I apologize, you guys hear no sound right now. That is my bad, but we got it going now for you guys to check out. All right, lap 1 in the books. Christopher Harris leads over the line from Jeff Cooper. Evan Cormack almost landing on his back as our top 3 riders starting to inch away just a little bit. And Harris going for the on-off 4-3-1 line. I'm curious to see what these 250 riders are able to do on this racetrack. We know the 450 lines will have those guys on-off quad through there, and there's also a quad in this next rhythm as Harris almost going for a ride at the end of the whoops. Gonna seat bounce that 3 in, go for the 3-2-1 across the start straight, and that seems to be the popular opinion for many of these 250 riders in this class. How about Christopher Harris? A week after we had his buddy Kalana Humphrey in studio. If only he was here this week, man, he'd be seeing his guy out here crushing it, almost into the mechanics area. Going across the starting line and then has that rear end slide out in the sand. He's going to try to get back on in the race lead, but will he hold it? Oh, it's side by side with Cormack. And Cormack to the race lead. Down the inside, Harris tried to get it back, but Cormack, the Underground RC KTM, takes over onto lap number 2. That's actually the 3rd lap of the race starting, but 2 laps in the books is, oh, Harris gets Jeff Cooper to run into his rear tire, and Cooper has a legs off crash. This is the fall-off feature in MX Simulator, a bit of a punishment system when you have a crash that is larger than a small tip over. The game will put you actually on the deck and make you pick the bike up slowly. Your arms never come off the machine, so it can look a little bit odd at times. But those crashes are anywhere between 8 to 12 seconds from a time standpoint. As Caden Wharton getting sideways in the whoops, and Evan Holt looked like he was going to try to take advantage. Speaking of taking advantage, jumping through these guys is Bodie Parker, number 32 Yogi program, and Jackson Lindsay goes with him as well. So off and running here in Glendale. 250 heat number 1, round 5 of the Underground RC Supercross Championship in MX Simulator, and we're watching some good battles here in the midfield. This is Bodie Parker in 4th with Jackson Lindsay hot on his heels. There is Evan Holt, Max Wilczek, Ryder Dorigo, and Jeff Cooper is in the final transfer spot in 9th. Harris still leads at the front now on to lap number 4, but look at this fight, man. Bodie Parker dealing with some heat. Jackson Lindsay's right on his tail feathers, and he's going to try to pull up alongside on the step-on, step-off quad. Oh, they get together, and down goes Jackson Lindsay. Somehow, some way, Bodie Parker rode out of that, and he's going to get going just in front of our points leader. There is our first sign of Cash Woods finally into a transfer spot. That just granted him position in. He was outside looking in, but our points leader's back in after that first lap crash. Going through the turning rhythm, an odd one from the race lead. But Woods now able to settle into a transfer spot. Let's see how far forward he's able to go. He's got Bodie Parker right in front of him. Cormack going at it with Ryder Dorigo on the 56. That is the Phil Ski and Snowboard Honda program this year. Cormack on the Underground RC KTM. Look at Parker, though, dealing with the heat from Cash Woods. 4 riders on your screen charging down that start straightaway. And Parker and Woods both go inside, and it works. In fact, Parker gets a twofer over the finish line jump. Dualies, trilies, quadsies almost with everyone so close together. Oh, the racing is intense early tonight. Will one of these guys... Oh, look at that. Dorigo busts out the quad. But some of these 250 guys elect to go for that triple single up the inside. Will that be a difference maker? Is down up in front of them goes Sonny Spicer out of 3rd. So Spicer, who was right in a transfer spot, and Parker's down in the whoops up ahead of him. 35 goes by of Jeff Cooper. There is Bodie Parker trying to pick his bike up off the ground. Spicer goes from 3rd all the way back to 10th, just like that. Jackson Lindsay into the final transfer spot. And that is how quickly things can change in this race. This game is hard, man. It is really difficult to run consistent laps. But this is why these are the elite of the elite. Even one crash can cost you so much time As we just saw right there, Spicer goes from comfortably in third, outside of a transfer spot. No better position to be in than the race lead, though, and that is where Christopher Harris on his SwapMotoLive.com KTM sits at 3-1 up the inside and then on off. Again, just playing it safe, simple lines. It's not about trying to do the big lines and do them lap after lap because it's too difficult sometimes. You just want to find those consistent lines and make them work in your favor. And so far, it's working for Harris out front. Cash Woods all the way up to second, down on lap 1, up to P2, and this is why this man has the red plate. Damage limitation has been incredible this year. He was about as far back last as you could be at Anaheim 2 weeks ago and charged all the way forward to get second in the main event. It's his only blemish on the season. Otherwise, we would be perhaps looking at a perfect score through 4 for Cash Woods and his District Designs Yamaha. Probably a bit too far back to run down Harris in this race. 9 seconds the gap as the white flag will come out this time by. And you can see that on your screen on the left-hand side. When that flag at the top goes from green displaying current conditions, racing conditions are under green flag, to white, that means the white flag is out. Last lap of the race underway. And then the checkered flag will signal the end of the race once our leader crosses the finish line. So Woods just cruising around in second. Meanwhile, cruising around up front, Cash Woods making it look easy. And I feel like as much as I want to give him his flowers, we might have some fun going on back here for the final transfer spot. Emmanuel Cepeda has Max Wilczek hot on his heels. The 17 and the 34, those are both national numbers. Neither of these riders have a career number, but both of these riders have won 250 main events before and want to find their way into this main event here tonight. Oh, they might both get in. Well, actually, Cepeda goes down and takes Wilczek with him. Down on the ground in that corner was Spicer. He gets up. Rafael Provost gets through. He's now up into 8th as we run up front real quick and give our flowers to Christopher Harris, winning his first heat race of 2026. You see everyone else behind him that's on their way to making it through, but let's make sure Spicer will get in. Provost getting the rhythm section wrong might hold Spicer up a little bit. As these guys charge through the sand section one more time, and you can still see 3 riders back there. That's Derigo with Wilczek and Ryder Bednar that want to get up there and fight for it. But the sand section proves to be too simple. Oh, Provost down before the finish line jump. He's sideways and will lose some time, but not enough. Ryder Bednar misses out by 0.7 of a second. Provost goes through with Sonny Spicer, Evan Cormack. Jackson Lindsay made it all the way up to 6. Jeff Cooper in the 5 spot. Bodie Parker in 4th. Holtze up to 3rd. Cash Woods did get 2nd. And shout out to Kalana Humphrey's boy, Christopher Harris. Job done. Wins Heat 1 here at Glendale. We'll wait to see those penalties, whether or not they come through or not. And if you're unfamiliar with the penalties system, or what we call cuts, it is a post-race system that tracks how much time you spent off the racetrack and gained an advantage and adds to your total race time. We'll see if it affected any of our runners here. And it does not. Provost, who was 9th, still makes it through. Bednar, Fowler, Cepeda, Derigo, Walther, Braxton Martin, and Andre Feitosa make up the runners that are on their way to the last chance qualifier. So coming up next, 250 heat number 2, led by Joey Carter, Tucker Zimmerman, Tanner Thorson, Timmy Briscoe, Dylan Delaire, and the rest. Jackson Vick, your fastest qualifier in this, and A2 winner, Jeremy Schiabro, also up on the dish as well. We'll see them going to battle here in just a minute, but we'll jump back in studio with you guys for a moment as well. Kellen Brower in the booth here tonight, solo action. Hopefully you've enjoyed the call so far through one race. One heat race down, 3 still to go. We have our 250 West Division halfway through their heats, and then our 2 450 heats coming up after that. You won't want to miss that. The 450 heats have been electric this year, and a great preview for what we'll see in tonight's 5th round of Supercross in MX Simulator. But so far, this track has proved to be interesting. The whoop's definitely a deterrent for some of our 250 riders, which they have been all year in Race Factory Gaming competition. It's tough to get up on top of them. It's tough to stay up on top of them as well. They are very, very spaced apart. They're also very deep. So if you get a front wheel dipping in between them once or twice, it's pretty likely you're on your way to the deck. And that is why the 450 class, which you'll see in a couple minutes here, is as good as they are, because they can get through the whoops no problem for 20 minutes plus a lap. And it's incredible to see them do that lap after lap. All right, we'll jump back in the server now. A little bit of time in the booth with you guys. Want to try to connect with you more throughout the season. Hopefully maybe we can do some Q&A stuff as well if you have any questions you'd like to have answered. And here's the rest of the 250 field going to the line. There is Wyatt Grant, Tyler Show, Caden Pankow, Dan White, Ethan Lenhart. Oh, we're missing Dan White stuff now. That's a bummer. Ryan Pinkerton, Riley Hewen, Devin Johnson, Dalton Caudill, Joey Carter, and your fastest qualifier, Jackson Vick. And the TSCZ boys were on one last week at Houston. Jackson Vick was in a position where he could have collected his first career 250 main event overall win after winning race 1. Still was in a good spot after 2 races, but then a terrible, terrible start left him down the order in race 3 and was eventually the catalyst for him to not even make it on the box overall. So tough break for him. But it's time to see how the rest of the field fares here in 250 heat number 2. Same deal, guys. 6 minutes plus a lap. Top 9 go to the main event. Let's drop the gate again here in Glendale. Much cleaner start so far, but the 309 of Briscoe gets into Delaire and it causes chaos halfway down. Devin Johnson got there first, but it's Jeremy Schiabro, District Designs 36 out front. The other race winner on the season into the early race lead. Joey Carter on the 20 looks to be settling in behind him, and Carter's Dr. Do Racing teammate Devin Johnson, OG as they come, up in the 3 spot. Devin Johnson won Supercross, I believe, back in 2012. Took a long hiatus from this game. Great to see him back on the 176, giving chase to some of the best in the game in the 250 class currently. You know, talk about old dogs. Jeremy Schiabro, man, what a story that was 2 weeks ago at Anaheim. 14 years it took Schiabro from his pro debut in this game to win his first 250 main event. But on top of that, he won a 450 moto last year at Unadilla. So he's really come into his own of late in this game and repping it for some of the lowest UIDs still out there. 884. First 1,000 people to buy this game in the history of it. And cool to see him still sharpening his skills in this game all those years later. As he jumps off the track, though, Joey Carter, sensing an opportunity, he's going to jump by him into the race lead, but then Carter makes a mistake in the rhythm section. Can Schiabro triple back by? Johnson trying to squeeze through them both. Cuts up in front of Schiabro, gets into the 2 spot. Schiabro fights back on that inside line. Oh, does he get it back? Wow. Inside and the sand works, and Schiabro back into the 2 spot. Crazy, crazy action. And we're only 2 laps in. Joey Carter to the race lead. Dr. Do Racing. He is broadcasting his perspective right now, I'm sure, but it will end up on TikTok if you haven't watched already. And just like that, Schiabro fights back into the race lead. A mistake out of Carter in that rhythm section cost him. Now he's back dealing with his teammate. Also, Carson West on the 486 is up there lurking in the background on that KTM. He's actually going to move into the 3 spot. He gets up the inside of Devin Johnson. And Carson West making early moves. We saw him run up front in race 3 last week at Houston. And is this him coming a bit into his own once again? We've seen him battle for race wins, but that was also a long time ago, early 2020s, as Joey Carter lays it down coming across the start straight. Got a little bit sideways there. Nice job not to have a legs off crash, because look at how close the competition is still behind him. Dan White, Ethan Lenhart, a.k.a. Cat Snot for those MX Bikes players out there that might remember that name. He is up in the 6th spot. Dalton Caudill and Dylan Delaire right behind them, with Wyatt Grant rounding out our top 9. 9th place, only 7 seconds off the leader. That's how close it still is halfway through 250 heat number 2. Joey Carter trying to get the ball rolling again, but Schiabro might have some competition here soon. Carson West running great lap times, half a second faster last time by than Schiabro out front, tire tapping those last 3 whoops and carrying a lot of speed. I'm bummed I don't have his bike or gear. Show off the good kits that they put together. Oh, Schiabro just got this rhythm wrong, but he still triples in and triples again, so he pulled it back together nicely. Carson West is certainly tightening this gap up. Schiavaro back to the inside in the sand. I think if you can get over that first inside roller clean, that inside looks to be maybe a tad faster, but it's so difficult to get it right every lap. So will Carson West gain again? Yes, he does. New fastest lap of the race, a 104.687. Then right behind that, Joey Carter sets fastest lap, 104.265. Schiavaro not trying to worry about the contest behind him and just trying to get away, but it's coming right to his front door here soon. And Schiavaro looks like he's kind of hopping awkwardly through those whoops, and West has got them so good lap after lap. So it's Schiavaro, West, Carter, Dallaire after crashing halfway down the start straights all the way up to 4th. Ethan Lenhart rounds out our top 5 with Wyatt Grant in 6th, Dalton Caudill 7th, Tyler Shovey in 8th. Dan White, generic name as they come, runs in the final transfer spot. Tucker Zimmerman trying to close up. Hashtag free race. I don't know, is that Race Carlin? Race Coble, probably. I don't know. So there's a couple different gentlemen named Race in this game. Dan White just getting away just that little bit. So we'll go back up to the lead. And actually, Schiavaro, I thought he opened it up, but as I say that, it looks like Carson West is right there once again. We'll go on board with Carson West. And I always forget to do this, so I'm just going to do it right now. A little peek behind the curtain. But I need to buff out my FOV to 110 to make first person look better. This is Braden Carter's exact point of view that he sees every week, and Carson West is seeing it as he goes into the race lead around the outside of Schiavaro. And where has Carson West come from? Out of nowhere last week in race 3, suddenly finds his old form, and now he's leading 250 Heat 2 here in Glendale, but he has got some competition. Schiavaro and Joey Carter are coming with him. Oh, look at that speed through the sand from Schiavaro. Up over the finish line jump. Doolies! Not able to make the pass as he squares underneath to fall in line, but Carson West, playing the good defensive game here, is going to go triple single to the inside after quadding to his normal position last few laps. Look at Schiavaro's going to slingshot this berm and try to scrub this double over the starting line. Get on that rear fender and blitz these whoops. Actually, Schiavaro was a little bit better than West this time through, and look at Carter still right there. West, a little mistake, little long on the triple there. Oh, this is going to get good. This is the final lap of the race, and these guys are going at it for the win. Schiavaro goes for the quad. And quads again through the front door off the track in a huge crash. Oh, he was going for it, and it doesn't work out. Joey Carter had fallen back a little bit. And Carson West survives the attack. Coming through the sand one more time. Give it up. Carson West, 250 Heat 2 winner here in Glendale. Carter comes across second. Wyatt Grant gets to third. Schiavaro will settle for fourth after that crash. Caudill fifth. Shovey sixth. Dallaire seventh. Dan White eighth. And Lenhart is in ninth. Will he stay there? Yeah, he's got 7 seconds to the good behind him, and he just got a free pass around Dan White, who is down in the sand. So these guys are all safe and sound through in our top 9 transfer spots. Pankow, Jackson Vick, your fastest qualifier. Pinkerton, Caden Kepke, Devin Johnson, Thorson, Briscoe, Dre Edwards, Zimmerman, Tyson Johnson, Riley Hewen, myself in warm-up, all headed to the LCQ. But how about Carson West? What an anomaly this has been. Last week and a half. Yes, Saru, yes, I apologize. I forgot to update our overlays. So I'll just go to the next one right now. Jump ahead of it. We had a question in chat, by the way, from Scott Polensky. Do these guys use first or third person when racing? And the honest answer to that is it's more split than you would believe. There are quite a few first person players. For example, four-time champion in this game, Braden Carter, plays in first person, always has. But then on the flip side, Seth Carr, who's our current points leader, plays in third person. And it just kind of ebbs and flows. Like, I think even Jeremy Seabolt, the 2020 Supercross champion, plays, I can't remember which way it is, but he plays like first in Supercross, third outdoors, or vice versa. So it just depends. Like, it's very difficult at times to see your surroundings in first person, and you also don't always know what the bike is doing behind you, especially through braking bumps and stuff. So for me, I have always personally played third person just for those simple reasons, and also I've always had a little bit of vertigo in this game from playing first. But there are a lot of benefits for first person, especially outdoors. You can see where your tire's going into the ruts. It's a little bit easier to kind of predict some things as well. Third-person perspective sometimes skews it a little bit. So, and yes, Hunter Root played in first person. Tyson Fresquez, four-time Supercross champion in this game, also played in first person. So, yeah, it kind of, it's a, like I said, it's a interesting balance of both. And yeah, I mean, first person for me, very difficult to get used to. And I know a lot of bikes players really like the dynamic view in bikes where the bike will move underneath you, but the head will kind of stay more centered, and it helps you feel a little bit more controlled. But for sim players, I know a lot of sim players that go to bikes and use the static onboard camera because that's what they're used to, right? A lot of these guys grew up playing sim. I mean, if sim was the only option for like a hardcore simulated game from 2008 to 2015 or so. Bikes soft launched beta 1 in 14 and then officially came out on Steam in 2019, but a lot of people switched over to bikes like between that 15 to 18 range that really run the game now. Mook and all those guys were originally in the sim side, and then they switched over to bikes around that time. But here we go, 450 heat number 1. We got some bangers lined up for you. Jacob Hubbard, Blake O'Brien, a.k.a. Hayden Deegan lookalike, Ash Deering, Ryan Cheesecake Chowsey, Tanner Rogers, Jake Spieth out here tonight. We got Xander Brion, Dylan Bollinger, Braden Castellaneta, Bryce Whelan, Chase Blakely, Seth Carr, Devin Davis. I think they just crashed their game, by the way, so we're waiting on those guys. Devin and Seth's game crashed. So these inside, we call them flying saucers is usually what I call them. Some people call them the UFO bales, but it's obviously confusing when there's a company called UFO or UFO in real life. So the flying saucers in this game very much like to crash your game, which is highly annoying. It looks like it did crash those two, their game, but they're back. You see Seth Carr on the 6 lined up inside of the box, the red plate. Reigning MX Simulator Playoffs champion, ready to go to battle here. 450 Heat 1, top 9 go through. Let's find out who they are. Pretty good launch for Hubbard and the 50. That is Tanner Rogers trying to get to the corner first, but round the outside, getting to the corner first is actually our old hole shot hero, Bryce Whelan, and he goes down out of turn 1 trying to get that double in. Rogers shoots into the race lead. Jack Mark up into the 2 spot. Oh, look at this, around the outside. On the 40, trying to take the race lead. Will he get it? Now Rogers going to shut the door. Oh, Jack Mark tried it, and it doesn't work. Slides out going down the straightaway. Tough break for him, but it promotes Ash Deering up to second. His teammate Devin Ryan in third. Blake O'Brien fourth. Walter Gebhardt rounds out our top 5 with Caleb Hall. And Jack Mark goes back. He is super duper 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 Sigma. Great team name tonight for him. Bryce Whelan and Chase Blakely up inside of the transfer spots early. So you might have noticed our points leader's not up here. He's about 14th place on the 6. We'll try to keep track of his progress. But these 450 guys are leaders down. Tanner Rogers goes down. He brings Ash Deering with him. And everybody's piled up at the end of the whoops. Devin Ryan goes down. Blake O'Brien goes down and gets hit twice by the 40 of Jack Mark going by. A couple others get stacked up, and that helps out several riders to get through. Walter Gebhardt goes to the race lead. And everything I just said about the 450s getting through the whoops cleaner is a bold-faced lie. They all crashed on lap 1. But it is Gebhardt on the 103 District Yamaha out front early. Caleb Hall, Jack Mark, Bryce Whelan, and Chase Blakely goes to the top 5. So where is Seth Carr? Because he must have gone down in that group. He is not up here just yet. There he is. Wow, the 6. Well down the order right now, running in 19th place, just ahead of teammate Jake Spiess on the 15. Incredible. So, honestly, I kind of almost want to go on board and see the chaos ensue here. He has got to make 10 passes. He's getting over 3 guys that were down. That was just pure luck. 3 riders down in transition, and he made it. So let's see what he does next. He's working on the 54. Is that Caleb Hall who was up there? And you can see track map, upper right-hand corner of your screen. He's got so many riders still right in front of him. So it's simply about patience. There is that 3-4-2. So fast, so much speed carried through there. Jams on the brakes to avoid a downed rider. Keeps on rolling. Now, Seth Carr, as I mentioned, does not play this game in first person. Going for the quad single, almost lands on Caleb Hall's back. He plays in third. But what he's seeing is not too dissimilar to what you're watching on screen here as he rips the outside of the sand to make that beautiful pass on Caleb Hall work to his advantage. 103 flat. Wow. Through traffic even. Having to weed through some guys. Meanwhile, Gebhardt 101.6 up front. Okay, so over table quad single. You have got to be joking as he goes down. He comes up short on the quad and he's off the bike. Well then, this could be interesting because he's not going to have that much time. I mean, look, we're already at 2.5 minutes left plus a lap in this race, and he's back all the way down to the 15th spot again. He is down again. Our points leader is having a real tough time. Oh, man, if he goes to the LCQ, the stress level is going to be through the roof. I remember joking with him after he won the first 2 rounds of the year. And part of the reason we came back to stream this series was to finally watch someone go 17-0. And then, of course, the very next week he loses to Leclerc. But how about this situation? Could our points leader be LCQ bound? I have no idea. But right now it's not looking good. We'll keep an eye on these guys up front. Gebhardt, Bryce Whelan, Deering, your top 3. But look at this fight right here. Blakely, T-Lang on the 5 right there as well. Xander Brion, Braden Castellaneta right behind them. And, of course, you guys are going to keep a keen eye on that 6 machine on your timing and scoring monitor on the left side of the screen. That is live updates, by the way, too. So as he makes passes through the field and goes through timing gates, you guys will see it just as quickly as I do. How much progress he's making and how much time he still has to make up. Like, he's got to make up over 10 seconds to get to a transfer spot. He's going to need some help. Deering and Blakely, though. Oh, Deering got the sand wrong on the inside. That'll cost him 2, maybe 3 spots as Castellaneta fires down the straightaway behind him on the 22. Not quite able to work just yet. Then inside in the sand. Does this work? It does. Yes, it does. Ah, no. Dooley's over the finish line. And Deering fights right back. Blakely, his teammate, just up the road. Man, that quad line is insane. I did not think guys would go over table quad. And I've been proven wrong once again, but Castellaneta with the nice move on Deering using that line. Uh-oh, down at the end of the whoops is T-Lang. That's going to cost him maybe a transfer spot. It's going to be tight with Caleb Hall. No, he's got plenty of time. He got up in 7th still. D. Davis down out of 9th, and that's going to help Seth Carr get into 9th. What? Just like that, he's up into P9. That is how quickly things can change. Devin Davis had the spot on lock and goes down in the whoops, gets sideways, I'm assuming, with how far he was off the track. And Seth Carr is going to survive, barring a late disaster here. Still got 2 laps to navigate. But man, what a sigh of relief for him and T-Motors of the District Designs program if he does make it through. Look at the corner speed through there, too. Insane. This is why he's got those red plates, man. He is on a different planet. Oh, going to be a little short. No, it doesn't go for the quad. You see those guys nose high like that in this game, it's usually because things are not going well. These guys often are very keen to kind of do the handy dip a little bit. They'll end up nose down. They really try to get both wheels on the ground at the same time as T-Lang is down again in the whoops, and this time it will cost him a transfer. Ryan Cheesecake Chowsey, a.k.a. Washed in MX Bikes, goes to the final transfer spot. So all the MXB fans rejoice. I don't know, has he been racing the MXB series? He's very talented in both games. It's really impressive. He and Jeremy Seabolt, two guys that really carry the flag in both games quite well. But I know Wasp was racing some off-season stuff. Has he been racing any of the ARL stuff too? It'd be cool to see that crossover. He's going to have to deal with some heat. T-Lang is not going to let him go as they come to the white flag. One lap to go in this opening heat race for the 450s. Oh, Chowsey off the track. He's getting sideways, and T-Lang's going to take advantage of it. Those tough blocks proving treacherous. It's not over yet, though. Could come down to the whoops, and we know T-Lang has struggled here. Chowsey lays it down, gets a good drive into the whoops. Does he get it out of the whoops? T-Lang through the front door again, and Blakely was down at the end of the whoops. So he'll hold on to a transfer spot, but what is up with T-Lang and the whoops tonight? It's killing him. Speaking of killing them, Walter Gebhardt wins 450 Heat 1 going away. Wheeling over the line. It's P2. Ash Deering holds on for third. How about Castellaneta versus Caleb Hall? Who gets fourth? Oh, Castellaneta's got that inside greased. He'll get it for sure. Seth Carr almost gets back to fifth. He does. By the skin of his teeth, he gets fifth in this race. Caleb Hall sixth. Chowsey seventh. Blakely eighth. And Jack Mark sneaks in out of nowhere in ninth. We missed some chaos there. T-Lang, Xander Brion. Who was up there that missed? I know T-Lang was, but I don't remember Jack Mark being ahead of those guys. But either way, he does make it in, so congratulations on the super duper 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 Sigma 40 machine making it in. I might be off on if Seabolt's racing this year or not. I know he used to race ARL in the past, and I feel like Saru can probably help me out a little bit on... He had a national number at one point, like a pretty low one, too. But yeah, definitely insane to see the 6 of Seth Carr get all the way back to 5th, and he does hold on after penalties. He received 0 penalties in that race. Okay, so 22-23 is when Carter, Shirley, Seabolt, and a few others came to bikes and did really well. Gotcha. Yeah, I know Carter was on the SYS Racing team, which, by the way, MX Bikes players, SYS Racing, we're trying to make a comeback. If you're interested, please DM me. But, yeah, I know Carter was on my team on the SYS side for a little bit, and he did some races. He was okay, but definitely not. Like, Seabolt, we knew was, like, kind of low-key crushing it in bikes and sim at the same time. Like, I think 1 week he top 5 to bikes race and then was battling for the win the next, or battled for the win before the bikes race, and then 2 days later got a top 5. But yeah, really cool to see those guys jumping over. Like, because honestly, I mean, I play both games for content creation purposes, and it doesn't matter how much time I spend in both. Like, I've spent a fair amount of time in bikes lately, for example, and I still never feel very comfortable playing it, and it shows because then I post my perspective laps of me trying to play the game, and people just call me an idiot and slow. And I guess I can't disagree because you guys are all busy watching Reaper Doc and Troy Jan do stupid stuff. And by stupid, I mean like crazy lines. So I'm just out here trying to make the game look half decent. Age limit for MXB team, I mean, we're open to really anybody. We took on, like, the shining example of a great team player that we love here at SYS Racing was our guy Hemi, who still rides for us even though he doesn't play the game, but we just love him that much. No, we're just looking for, like, good, chill dudes to hang out with. We're trying to get more people in our servers. And rep the brand. We'll make sure that it's worth your while. Get a lot of exposure that way. So, I don't know. We took Hemi on when he was like 15, 16 maybe. And he was excellent. Love Hemi. So here's a look at our 450 Heat 2 runners. There's defending champion Colby Eaglin, still winless in 2026. Does he win tonight? We're going to find out here in about an hour, shall we? But before we do that, he's got to try to qualify his way in. We saw how sketchy it just was for his teammate Seth Carr. Anybody else going to struggle here in heat number 2? Let's find out. Final heat race of the night here at Glendale. Let's drop that gate again. Off and running into turn number 1. Johnny Padani, who we were watching, is going to try to get there first. Pushes everyone wide. Leclerc was up there as well. The 412 of Nick Salon. Into the 2 spot right away, but it's Padani out front. The rider out of Hungary, by way of Ireland now, I believe, into the early race lead. He's been great in this 450 championship this season. John Heilman up into the 2 spot. Leclerc, Anaheim 2 winner in 3rd. Winningest rider in MX Simulator history on the number 7. And I need to have someone send me his skins because it's very frustrating not having his bike as he almost got stood up on the finish line jump. Oh, he's getting sandwiched. Seth Shirley up the inside. The outside there was Alec Horn. But Leclerc might get Shirley back with this quad single line to the inside. Yes, he will. Nice move. And look at all of these riders so close together. Do they prove me right on the whoops this time? And even the end of that whoops section is sketchy. And going down there was, I think, the one of Eaglin. I think he just got hung up in that corner. Or was it Carter? As Shirley makes a mistake in front of Leclerc, he gets back by. Brings Nick Sellen with him. And for those who have no idea who Nick Sellen is, right out of Germany on the JIBR.co Kawasaki, we've seen him at exactly 0 NA races this year. But there is an EU series for Race Factor Gaming as well. It runs tomorrow, midday in the USA. But obviously evening time for those in Europe. And Nick Sellen is one of the standout riders of that series. I'll probably get this stat wrong, but I believe he's like, what, a 2-time champion in the Supercross division there? Oh, he's short on the finish line, though. Oh, that lands it smooth in the end. Look at all this foreign flavor up here. Leclerc, the Frenchman. Nick Sellen, the German. Padani, out of Hungary, in the race lead. Oh, look at this. This is awesome. This freight train of riders here. Seabolt back there on the 10. We also have Luke Sullivan on the 11, former MX Simulator Playoffs champion. Eaglin on the 1. Carter on the 2. Almost want to see Carter's crazy perspective with this. So, again, you guys have been asking me who plays first, who plays third. This is not only Braden Carter plays first person. He sent me his exact settings. This is exactly what he's seeing right now, minus his name on the bottom of the screen. But this is what he's looking at. Pit boards, tachometer on the bottom right, track map top right, and just his race trying to make it happen as he works on teammate Jeremy Seabolt. Oh, rider down before the finish. Was that Shirley? Yes, it was. The 44 of Seth Shirley down. I thought Carter was going to try to quad over his teammate Jeremy Seabolt. Meanwhile, joining us in the booth is my family. Hot and heavy. Do you want to say goodnight, family? Hello, guys. Shall we put you guys on the screen for a moment?
Hello, chicken banana. Are you guys having a good race today? Is it so much fun? I wish I could ride on a dirt bike too. Goodbye.
All right, thank you. Good night, everybody. Say good night. Love you guys. All right, see you guys later. Watch your step, Holly. Watch your step. Watch your step. All right, sorry. Again, family affair in the booth here this evening. Johnny Padani still leads this race. Braden Carter second, Leclerc third. We'll go back to our camera. situation here. And go back in game so you guys can see it. Oh, Carter's in the mix now with Leclerc, and they're checking each other through that rhythm section. Look at Seabolt still back there lurking. Selin has lost a few positions, but he's still in the mix. What a great race this Heat 2 is. Oh, Carter's going to get the quad double over Leclerc and gets position just like that. And up the inside, Seabolt. Oh, he thought about it on Leclerc. Not quite close enough just yet, but Carter has been able to work his way through these guys and going quad. Was that our leader down? It was Johnny Padani down on the outside of the mechanics area, and that promotes Braden Carter to the race lead. So Braden Carter to the front here in Glendale. That's what he's hoping to see on his way towards this main event. Leclerc under attack from Seabolt. And yes, a few of you have pointed out Seth Shirley, second overall last week in Houston, is currently sitting in 14th place. So we'll go back and check on him in a minute. But the fights continue at the front of the field here. Carter, Leclerc, Seabolt, Selin, Sullivan, and Eaglin now at the tail end of this group. We'll see Eaglin's perspective here as he gets bouncing through the whoops a little bit. Man, it's so close for all these guys. No, Leclerc is using Phil's stuff. If I zoom really tight on his gear, you might be able to see it. Yeah, so you can see underneath the Fly logo is a Phil Ski and Snowboard logo. And I don't think they're running Fly stuff this year. Is there a Phil's Rider on the track right now? Yes. So Arnbrister's running TLD. Anybody else? Phil's? Question mark? Okay. So yeah, they're running TLD because Hunter Ash is in TLD as well. But Leclerc is running just his outdoor stuff, I think. I just don't have his bike. Sad. I gotta get Hubbard or I guess Braden to tell me what bike he's running. Okay, so yes, it is Leclerc's 26 SX kit. They all just run different gear. Just trying to keep everyone up to date. But yeah, looks like District is going to probably win both heat races here. But with two riders we maybe didn't expect. Obviously Carter, we expected, and Gebhardt can get it done too, but you expect to see District Design's heat race sweep. You would assume it would be Carter and Seth Carr, but we saw Seth Carr come from way down to get 5th place in that heat race. Wonder how that's going to impact gate pick later on tonight. Got to keep that in mind. He is likely going to be gate pick, I guess probably gate pick 10, because they'll be second to the line. I think this heat race is going to be a little bit faster. I wonder if that puts him outside of the doghouse, or will he just try to take a super inside gate? I don't know. Questions that still need to be answered here later on this evening. But right now, Braden Carter, this is by far the best he's looked in a heat race all season long. And I can tell you from personally speaking to him a couple weeks back, he is fired up to try to get his first win of the season. Felt like it could have come at Houston. He won race 3, kind of going away as well. But he will lament way too much crashing and missed opportunities in race 1 and 2 last week. Got on the overall podium, kept the championship close. But he needs a win. And he needs one bad. Starting off on the right foot here tonight at Glendale, though. Heat 2 is going to go to the 4-time champ, Braden Carter. Front flips over the line. Seabolt able to get into the 2 spot late here over Sullivan, Selin, and Leclerc inside your top 5. Eaglin 6th, Badani 7th. Alec Horn in 8th. And Jacob Arnbrister, Jay-Z holding down 9th. Seth Shirley's trying to go for it in the final corner. Man, he's going to get close. That'll be close with cuts. 2/10. Just under 3/10 at the line, so we'll see. So Cocroft, Vanderkoy, which again, MX Bikes crossover. This is Ev Moof, who you guys probably haven't seen race in a while, but again, throwback. John Heilman, Noah Bindis, Anthony Pachone, Joseph Pilsner, Hunter Ash, Jared Gummison, Frank Jackson, and Rogan McIntosh. Heat 2 has priority for gate pick no matter what. What kind of two-face series is this? It's supposed to be best TRT. I'm joking with you guys. All right, top 9 do not change positions. They stay the same. And Shirley is going to the LCQ. Tough break for the 44. So Braden Carter wins heat number 2, and we're going to go ahead and toss you guys to a real quick commercial break before the best racing of the night. The LCQ's coming up. Stick with us. We'll be right back. More Underground RC Supercross coming up.
Have you been to the area's premier radio-controlled hobby shop and raceway? Underground Raceway and Hobbies in Great Northern Mall has 2 indoor tracks for racing at every experience level. Don't have your own car? No problem. You can rent one from us. When you're ready to get your own, we've got an on-site hobby shop with everything you need, including all the popular brands. Underground Raceway and Hobbies has kits for land, sea, and air. Cars, boats, planes, you name it. Come see us next to Dick's in the Great Northern Mall in Clay.
Apologies, I was muted. Welcome back to round number 5 of the Underground RC Supercross Championship live here on Start Your Systems. My name is Kellen Brower in the booth, and a big thanks, of course, to Underground RC for making this series possible for us this year. 250, last chance qualifier time coming at you. Better get ready for this one, folks. Doesn't get better than these races. Top 4 make it to the main event. Everybody else goes home early, and it is get nervous time. Here we go, folks. Top 4, 250 LCQ time coming at you from Glendale. Let's go! Oh, a couple guys already crashing halfway down the start straight. It's the 81 who gets there first, but Langstrip goes wide and will get the whole shot officially. Early race lead, though, hands back over to J.R. Reyes. Remember, he got a good start in the heat and immediately folded up like a broken lawn chair, handed it over. Langstrip right back to the front. J.R. Reyes settles for P2. Devin Johnson, Timmy Briscoe, Caden Kepke in the top 5 as Langstrip lays it down on the start straight. And he's in a blind spot here a little bit. Everyone does a fantastic job to go around him. Langstrip goes down, a couple others hitting the deck in the background. Reyes leads lap number 1 from Johnson, Kepke, and Briscoe. And we know Briscoe, man, he is the LCQ warrior. He has been in far too many of these last chance qualifiers this year. And he's back in another one again after working his way into a podium at San Diego a few weeks ago. As down goes Devin Johnson. He lands on the 45 there of Caden Kepke. Nowhere to go when Kepke gets it wrong. And a lot of guys are going to get by for that. Max Wilczek goes in the final spot. Trey Edwards down out of 3rd. Oh, the chaos is totally ensuing at this point. So it's Reyes, Briscoe, Wilczek, Riley Hewen now into the final spot for Galaxy. Uh-oh, Ryder's down again. No way, Briscoe's down. And I think he went down with Wilczek. Yeah, Wilczek, I think, landed on him. So Reyes is getting away at the front. Riley Hewen second now. Thorson third. And Koepke all the way back to fourth after that. Make it third up the inside of Thorson. There's the 56 of Ryder Dorigo. Oh, man, he's trying to get up the inside of Thorson and make a pass as well. 3 wide, almost over the finish line jump. As Koepke holds strong, Thorson on the 410 is in that final transfer spot. Oh, one goes long, one a little short, and they almost come together. Thorson down and takes Dorigo with him. The 414 of Caden Wharton also gets hung up. That allows Jackson Vick and Ryder Dorigo to go by. Dorigo now to the fourth and final spot. Oh, and Dorigo goes down in fourth. Jackson Vick goes by. Nobody wants to be in the main event here tonight at Glendale. These guys needed a much better set of whoops to get through, and they are struggle busting out here. But Jackson Vick, Christmas came early once again for him after qualifying fastest here tonight. And a terrible, terrible heat race. He's made it up into fourth. It is still J.R. Reyes leading this thing from Hewen, Koepke, and then Vick, as we're watching on our screen here. J.R. Reyes just cruising at the front of the field, though. And for those of you that maybe don't know this, J.R. Reyes, IRL Ripa. I believe at the moment he's taking a hiatus from racing Supercross. He has raced Pro Supercross and Motocross in the past. But I swear I read somewhere he's taking a bit of a break from that. Not obviously to focus on sim. He's got other endeavors IRL to focus on. But cool to see him still out here ripping in sim. And tripling his way in, no problem. Hewen closing that gap down nicely, though. And our top four definitely getting away from the field a little bit. 3 seconds back to Pinkerton in the 5 spot behind Jackson Vick. So no drama just yet for the transfer spots. Doesn't mean it won't happen. I mean, we've seen a lot of chaos and guys crashing, but I mean, the takeouts, the emotion. And sometimes these guys pour out in the LCQs wanting to make a main event. And this is where feelings will get hurt. I left many LCQs in my days very unhappy with either other riders or myself. And yes, excellent point that 2 weeks ago you guys were in here donating, a decent amount of money. It wasn't like it was gonna ever happen, but a decent amount of money to have Hunter Yoder punt Hayden Deegan. That was literally what the donation was for. And instead, Yoder gets trapped under his bike this past weekend, and the ever-so-loving Hayden Deegan, literally the salt-of-the-earth human being that he is, stops to pick up Yoder's bike off of him. What a true, solid gentleman that young Deeg boy is. It is a funny juxtaposition for sure. And for reals, Yoder was never going to take that seriously, by the way. But it was a funny joke. So white flag in the air, and all the chaos that we were promised seems to have been bottled up in about 1 or 2 laps of this race early on. Top 4 have definitely gotten away, and it's going to take a late crash from one of them for things to change. Unfortunately for everyone else behind, they've gotten through the whoops clean. Have I ever caught a race ban before? No. But I did get a warning because this is just the funniest wraparound ever. A-Wood took me out 2013 Atlanta, and I got up and punted him in the next corner, and he protested me, and I got a warning. Oh, that's funny. And now we co-commentate these races often together. I wish he was in studio for that. But J.R. Reyes wins the LCQ. Riley Hewen second, Koepke third, and Jackson Vick by the skin of his teeth, goes through to the main event after qualifying fastest, 22nd gate pick in the main event. Braxton Martin, first man out looking in. Ryan Pinkerton, Devin Johnson, Ryder Bednar. Andre Feitosa, Tanner Thorson, Tyson Johnson, Caden Wharton, Ryder DeRigo, Caden Pankow, Luke Fowler, Timmy Briscoe, Max Wilczek, Emmanuel Cepeda, Dre Edwards, Brandon Walter, Tucker Zimmerman, and Nicholas Langstrup. All going home early this evening. Where is Awood? Asked Chase Donovan. He, unfortunately, is rather ill, and we hope for the best for him. Whether he's watching or not sure. He texted me yesterday and said, probably not going to make it today. He was planning to, but then said, probably a little bit too sick to come. And then texted me today and said he is headed to urgent care. So I don't know if he's still there or not. But we wish him well. Hope he's doing okay. And we look forward to probably having him back in the booth next week for Seattle. Also a question from Zane Wathan is, will Big Lou survive job swap? I think survive, yes. I think have fun, no. I think Big Lou's going to be really annoyed for two reasons. I think he's going to be really annoyed that people will physically see him ride a dirt bike because, for example, I'm going riding with him soon, but we're not going to film it. We're going to let him, get his feet wet and stuff like that. But then when he does the actual job swap and does 230s with Chase Sexton at Chambers' house, they're filming it all. Like, I'm sure Jeff Urban, Chase's guy, is going to be down there filming it. And I know Lou is pretty nervous about that because, as with everything, I'm a journalist in this sport. He's a journalist. People think that if you don't ride a dirt bike as well as James Stewart, you should not be allowed to have any sort of opinion on this sport. And so I don't usually post riding footage for that exact reason, and people are about to have the exact same conclusion when it comes to what Lewis does, unfortunately, because he's going to be fine. He's going to ride no problem, but people are still going to pick apart his riding tenfold. He's probably going to not make it both 30s, just my opinion. But you don't have to get all panties in a bunch because the two guys that were go to school to try to be journalists for this sport just don't happen to be the best riders in the world either. So, yeah, he'll be okay, but that will be the one thing that he will be the most annoyed with, I'm sure. He also will probably be really annoyed that he's not riding as good as he probably believes he should be riding. So, we'll see. All right, 450 LCQ coming up. There are certainly some big names in here. Jacob Hubbard, Seth Shirley, two guys that are top 10 in points. They absolutely need to make it in. T-Lang also in this one. So, yeah, you look at those guys and you think that should be 1, 2, 3 in this race, but it's rather unlikely it'll go that way. I don't know what Lewis's plan is, but there might be a sneaky chance we could get Lewis in the booth next week. Maybe. I'm just going to say maybe because I can't swear to it. Oh, Joseph Pilsner is stuck in the pixie stick. Somebody come get him. He's dancing on... I won't say that on a kid's stream. Stop it. All right, final last chance qualifier of the night. Oh, man, I hope this one's good because we did not get a barn burn in the 250 class, but we could in the 450 class. Top 4 go through. Final LCQ. Here we go. Into turn 1, it's the 50 of Tanner Rogers there first. Hubbard up the inside, trying to get in a second. Will get there, but Dylan Bollinger is actually going to take over the 2 spot. O'Brien gets through clean on the 38. So far, pretty clean start. 127 of Anthony Pachone is also up there. And we're off and running for this LCQ. Oh, big crash. One of the Suzukis, Devin Ryan, in the background goes down. Tough break early on. And it's Rogers from Bollinger, Hubbard, and O'Brien early on. Isaiah Dickerson, 5th. Devin Davis, 6th. Hunter Ash back there in the 7th spot. Shirley is in 10th. T-Lang, 13th. How will they fare in this one? No one knows yet. Rogers hopping through the whoops. Literally, J. Coop out here in the race lead. Look at it, it's getting tight, though. Dickerson gets around Blake O'Brien to move into the final transfer spot, but O'Brien's going to launch right back by, and down was Tanner Rogers on the 50. So Dickerson goes back into a transfer spot. The 71 of D. Davis is hanging out back there in the 5 position. Dickerson, oh, we have Bullinger down as well off the side of the track, out of the 2 spot. And then Hubbard lays it down on the start straight. He does not fall off the bike. Gets up still in a transfer spot, at least tentatively, because here comes Seth Shirley charging onto the start straight. Charging down inside Hubbard, outside Shirley. Which one works better? Hubbard goes defensive, and Shirley has to cross back over. It's O'Brien, Dickerson, Davis, Hubbard, Shirley, your top 5. Only 4 go through. I always feel like when D. Davis is in a position to make it this year, he has got some really good dudes behind him. And right now he has 2 guys in the top 10 in points right on his heels. Most career starts in MX Simulator history right here, folks. Started all the way back in 2012. I believe Anaheim 2 was his first main event in 2012. And don't quote me on the number, but it's in the mid-150s, I think. I don't know. Lane Burks will probably tell me. Career Supercross starts for D. Davis. Look at that. Shirley did get by Hubbard. So Shirley threw on the 44 around Hubbard. Now he's going to go to the outside of D. Davis. Shirley's got speed. There's no question about that. As he's going to get to the inside of D. Davis here. Oh, D. Davis fighting well. Gotta watch out for Dickerson getting the rhythm a little bit wrong in front of these guys, but Shirley triples by D. Davis, no problem. Out of the inside of Dickerson, we'll get by him too. So O'Brien from Shirley, Dickerson, and then D. Davis versus Hubbard now. Oh, Hubbard getting it a little bit wrong right there. And Dickerson got stood up by D. Davis, so now he is sitting in a tough position as Hubbard crosses back over to the inside and gets by him for 4th. Also, keep an eye back there as the 30 of Heilman is in the mix. Wow, Hubbard from off track goes for it, and it doesn't work. He goes down, and Dickerson survives. Meanwhile, 2 by 2, they go through the rhythm section. Spieth versus Heilman, and they're closing up on Dickerson in a hurry. Look at T-Lang through the sand getting by Heilman. So T-Lang up to 6th. They're trying to get to Isaiah Dickerson right now. 211 night shows for Devin Davis, but that's not mains, obviously. But night shows is insane. 211. There's 17 races a year. So you have to race every single race for 13 years, basically. Jake Spieth holds on to 4th right now. He got by Dickerson. Does he hold it from here? This was your East-West Showdown winner at Indy last year. And 2nd in points in 250 East. I think just trying to get himself ready for East right now, but jumping off the track doing so. So D. Davis still in 3rd, holding steady with Spieth back there in 4th. Meanwhile, race lead action going on. Blake O'Brien, the Hayden Deegan look-alike program up here, battling it out with Seth Shirley. And for those that are confused, Blake O'Brien earned national number 38. And similar to what Chase Blakely always does with his career number 21, looking like Jason Anderson, O'Brien just running a Deegs replica set, basically. I dig it. But Seth Shirley digs it even more that he's into the race lead and smooth sailing at that. So Shirley goes from 10th to the lead in this LCQ. White flag will come out next time by. And this has gone very nicely for the 44. Can't be mad about it whatsoever. D. Davis trying to hold on. 133 career main events. for Devin Davis. Oh, ew, hold on to it, buddy. That rear end almost sent him for a ride. Oh, Jake Spieth gets the sand wrong, and Heilman goes by. Whoa, Isaiah Dickerson comes slicing through into the fourth and final transfer spot. So Dickerson in the final spot. Heilman, Spieth, T-Lang, and Hubbard back here want to get in. Oh, Spieth and Heilman almost come together. Spieth, how did he get that inside line still? But then goes OTB, and he's out of this one. So now it's up to Heilman or T-Lang. Dickerson looks a bit out of control at the moment. And, oh, wow, Heilman goes down, so it's now just down to T-Lang. But Dickerson was able to go 3-4-2. Lap traffic in play a bit here. Dickerson's still going for the quad. Still going for the quad. Quad as he just narrowly avoids Pachone. Meanwhile, up front, Seth Shirley stamps his ticket to the main event, wins the LCQ. O'Brien second. Devin Davis. Golf claps, my friend. Good to see him still out there. That's his first main event of the year. Oh, Dickerson's down at the line, and he gets over a second ahead of T-Lang. And T-Lang, instant disconnection. Well, that's not good. He needs to run the race. No, I think Luke Scheffler's been running him right. John Heilman, Jake Spieth, Jacob Hubbard, Joseph Pilsner, Bollinger, and McIntosh. Oh, let's see who drag races this one better. Oh, McIntosh just filthy in the sand. Gets there first. Bollinger out. Wagman, Hunter Ashe. Tanner Rogers is going to be kicking himself. He was up there and threw it away. Also, shout out Tanner Rogers doing some solid defense of MX Simulator in my Facebook comments lately. Because every time people go to rage about how 1997 the graphics look in MX Sim, I always see Tanner Rogers there defending the game. So congratulations. Thank you to him. If any of you would like to go defend MX Simulator's honor, please do so. Visit facebook.com/startyoursystems. Happy to have you over there. But the cuts are in and nothing changed. So Dickerson does make it through. D. Davis, Blake O'Brien, and Seth Shirley, your runners here for tonight's 450 main event out of the LCQ. What's up, Moto My Go-Go? He's back, man. Moto Go-Go's back hanging out. More on board cam for the mains. You got it, 537 Hunter. I'm here for you. I am here for you, buddy. 250 main event coming up. We'll jump back in studio with you guys for a minute. If you have any questions, please feel free to pitch them my way. We'll try to answer them as quickly as possible. Auto762 says we need a Sim 2. I mean, I agree. I would love to see it. Just because I think bikes is great, but the racing scene kind of sucks in bikes. My opinion. Netcode sucks. Too much takeouts, all that stuff like that. So the bike's physical gameplay is awesome. The sim racing scene is awesome. If it could somehow mush those two together, that'd be great. Maybe it's MTG, but also Sim 2 would be sick. MX Sim 2 Electric Bugalo. Oh, man. But great to have you guys here tonight. On board for the whole shot? I don't know. I love to see where everyone is going in turn one. So maybe we'll do a 250 main with Cash Woods just to see. But, yeah. 450 main, I want to see what everyone's doing into turn one. Sim and Richard Burns Rally are the same boat. Bad graphics, but great physics. That's fair. It is fair. People still mob Richard Burns Rally, right? Like, it's like 03 it came out. It's kind of the same thing as NASCAR Heat, another game that came out in 03, and people still make mods for it. But, yep, I agree with that. MXS2 might just be MTG, to be honest. I mean, yes and no, because it's all the MX Bikes guys building it, so they're going to try to make it, I think, probably closer to bikes than they would sim, but I don't know, maybe. Leclerc has only missed 7 mains in his RFNA career. I actually find that hard to believe because I feel like I can remember mains he's missed. He definitely missed A2 2021, I think it was. He missed a main earlier this year, A1 even, or was it San Diego? How impressive do you find that Leclerc is still chugging even after it's been 12 years only racing 450s? I mean, yeah, it's great. He never really raced 250 racing in this game. Went straight to 450s and has absolutely crushed it. Why don't I have water texture on Herrick's? I think you could ask Herrick. I'll probably help you there. Voland finish at Glendale. I think we can expect a very good, almost podium. He'll get 4th. MTG used ChatGPT to show what they should do for direct lean versus direct steer. I mean, that's a joke, right? Need to come to a GNCC this year, Kellen? I'd like to. They're just all the way on the other side of the country for me, and if I'm not getting paid to do it, it's kind of a tough ask. But maybe. I would like to do one if someone's paying for, like Yamaha does it sometimes with the media. I'll do it if Yamaha puts a bike up for me in a hotel. I'm there. All right, folks, it's time for round 5 of 250 West coming at you here from Glendale. Cash Woods has been near perfect this year. Does anybody else get it? I forgot I was going to go on board with him for the start, so here we go. He's outside of the box. 250 made from Glendale. Let's go! Oh, he got tagged. Going into turn 1, but still comes out fairly decent. It's in about 6th, 5th place right now. Meanwhile, up front, Carson West has whole shot this race. Jackson Vick jumping through in front of Cash Woods. Makes the pass. Evan Holt is up here. Raphael Provost going into the race lead up ahead of these guys as Carson West retakes it at the end of the straightaway. So Carson West is going to lead lap number 1 right where he left off after winning Houston race 3 last week. Provost in 2nd, Carter 3rd, Jackson Vick 4th, Bodie Parker, Evan Holt, Jeremy Schiabro, Cash Woods. All of the fast boys we want to see are up here. Barring maybe Dylan Dallaire and Wyatt Grant are the only names I can think of that aren't. This is going to be a great race, especially if Carson West doesn't get away as Joey Carter gets together with Jackson Vick, and there it goes. Everybody's down. Wow, that was a cross jump, I think, from Joey Carter getting sideways off the rear fender of Provost. And it just totally spoiled what could have been a great race. But Carson West now leads Provost. Then Dallaire, who I just mentioned, is up to 3rd ahead of ahead of Cash Woods, I should say. Riley Hewen rounds out the top 5. Oh, how good it could have been. Woods down. Cash Woods is down from 4th. And look at how many guys are going to go by. Wow, as Joey Carter flips into your screen. Evan Holt, who was down, Jackson Vick, all those guys that were just down in front of him that he weaves through are now with him. And he has slipped back to 14th, so this will be interesting. And this swings the door wide open for somebody other than Cash Woods to win this race. But then saying that, all these other fast guys are back here with him, so this is going to be interesting to see how this shapes out in this race. Meanwhile, Carson West out front on lap number 3 of this race with Raphael Provost, a name that we have not seen much of this year. Sneaks in out of the heat race. The Atlas.co 449. We've got a couple triple-digit guys out front. Riley Hewen has gotten around Dylan Dallaire after some of that chaos he was dealing with. And Cash Woods going backwards still a little bit. Hewen, Dallaire, Dan White, 3, 4, 5. Then you got the 42 machine of Jackson Lindsay as Raphael Provost lays in the fastest lap of the race. Quickly eclipsed by Hewen in 3rd. Jackson Lindsay is giving Dan White the business right now. Trying to make a pass on the 180 Ashika ride. 12 of Dallaire back to the inside of Hewen. Gets by him and goes down. Oh, weird crash. Front end knifed into the face of that jump. Immediately fell off. So Hewen now moves back to 3rd. Lindsay 4th. Dan White 5th. And it's Wyatt Grant, Schiabro, Cash Woods, Holtzy, Vick. If that group can get up here, man, this is going to be fun. Dallaire is actually right behind them as well. So actually, I feel like Wyatt Grant and Schiabro could be some ones to watch here in this race. I mean, still the lead duo out front pulling away and making this race their own, but third on back, it is anybody's guess who could lead this thing in the next few laps. As even so, Jackson Lindsay's going to get by Hewen in front of the finish line jump. He's going long on the finish, though. I thought Hewen might take a chance, get back by. Not quite able to make something happen, and Jackson Lindsay quad city through that rhythm section. Looking sharp. This is good action for some guys that have had rough seasons so far. Jackson Lindsay, national number 42, a bit nowhere to be found so far this season. Mixing it up with these guys. Schiabro got by Wyatt Grant. And they continue to dance a little bit. Looks like Prevost went down trying to battle Carson West for the lead. He's 5 seconds back. So Carson West is leading this race pretty handily at this point in time. Unbelievable how quickly that has changed, because he was nowhere to be found first 3 races. Then wins race 3 at Houston, and suddenly it's like it ignited him again. Find that old form that he had. Again, Lane Burks will have to help me here. Which race that Carson West, I don't know if he won, but he definitely got close to winning a race. I think in 2021. Dan White, Jeremy Schiabro. So Schiabro's worked his way around White and is continuing to move forward. Meanwhile, Jackson Vick has disposed of Cash Woods and just ran the fastest lap of the race at a 1:03.109. Gonna have to deal with Rafael Prevost getting up in front of him here. Gotta be careful not to mistime the rhythm and land on his back. Okay, Vij's in chat says 22 he won a main event. Speaking there of Carson West. 22 Detroit. Okay, 2022 Detroit was the one and only win of Carson West's career. Look at Jackson Vick. He's going to try to slice and dice through these guys. Gets by Dan White. Gets by Rafael Prevost. And trying to get Wyatt Grant too, his teammate. Oh, man, look at the speed in the corners there. Dualies, quadsies over the finish line jump. These guys tossing them. Step on, step off, quad. Jackson Vick. Woo! Almost through the front door and saves it. That is a better alternative to crashing right there. Got to be careful that track re-entry with Joey Carter coming. As Prevost and Dan White throw a little bit of dualies by Grant. So Schiabro's gotten away from these guys. He's running down Hewen for the 3 spot now. And this race has gone from bad to worse. Cash Woods is 12th. So is Schiabro in a better position here to maybe gain some serious points in this championship. Remember, 29 points down of Cash Woods, even though he was second in the standings entering round 5 here. And Schiabro looking at potentially third in this race. That's 20 points. Whereas 12th, 13th place now for Cash Woods. It'd only be 8. Gaining 12 points. Can you imagine? Get it down under that one race distance. Never know, man. These 250 regional championships, they're short, and one costly mistake can really ruin a chance at a championship. Oh, Hewen almost through the front at the end of the whoops right there, and Wyatt Grant just had the similar mistake in the background. I'm kind of waiting for this battle to materialize. Oh, wait, change of the lead. Carson West has gone down. He is up in front of these guys, and our new leader, Jackson Lindsay, TSCZ Productions 42, KTM is out front. Another name that has had a terrible start to his 2026 campaign. A guy who, in his own right, probably expected to contend for this championship, borderline at worst. And missed the main at A1, missed the main, I think, at San Diego as well, or maybe it was A2, but he definitely missed a couple mains to start this year. And it has been a rough road, but finally showing that potential here out front in Glendale, just past the halfway point, leading. Schiabro up to second. And he brought Hewen with him, so he got Hewen. And they both passed Carson West, who is tossing the anchor overboard after leading this race rather handily. He is all the way back to 6th place and still going backwards. Got passed by Dan White. There is Jackson Vick. And now another crash for Carson West. Completely unglued. I don't know if it was just that early sprint pace, the rhythmic timing, whatever it is, but something has fallen off the rails for your early race leader, and it's not going well. Back to this battle, though. Hewen and Wyatt Grant for 3rd. Oh, Grant, look at that move. Inside in the sand. Forces the pass. And I think Wyatt Grant knows if he wants to win this race, he's got to go with Jeremy Schiabro. And not let him get away. I mean, they still need to both run down Jackson Lindsay. I think the way things have gone to start this season, both of them kind of believe that they could do it and win this race. Jackson Lindsay now into lap traffic. Laps J.R. Reyes. Schiabro hopping through the whoops. These guys desperately need the whoops to get knocked down just a little bit more. So here we go. 5 minutes plus a lap in this race still to go. Who wins this 250 main from Glendale? It is Jackson Lindsay's to lose, you could say, with this 5-second lead. But we're going to check on the lap times next time by. I feel like Schiabro and Wyatt Grant, now that they have clear air, might be able to wick it up just that little bit more. Meanwhile, this is massive for Schiabro because Cash Woods is 15th. If Schiabro can win this main event, the amount of points he could claw back on Cash Woods in one race is unfathomable and maybe opens up this 250 West Championship again for discussion when it really wasn't even an option. But here our lap time check. 106.3 for Jackson Lindsay. As I say that, Schiabro jumps off the track. He had ran a 104.8 or 104.9 last time by, but he allows Wyatt Grant to go through. So could this be that move that makes the difference in a few laps, because Grant was the fastest rider on the track last time by? Yet to win a 250 main event. The son of Josh Grant, former pro racer, long-time pro racer. Now watches his son do it virtually, and could this be the moment for Wyatt Grant to get there? He can see Jackson Lindsay as the 154 of Ethan Lenhart moves out the way. And Lindsay cuts up the inside to avoid a downed rider, but Wyatt Grant is on his horse now. 106.2 to a 108.9 last time by. It's coming unglued for Lindsay out front a little bit. He's missing rhythms. He's perhaps struggling with the race lead. As I say that, Grant makes a mistake and allows Schiabro back through. So they continue to play their own little cat and mouse game as they reel in the 42 out front. Oh, Schiabro. Oh, my goodness, the rear end was one bad whoop away from ending his race right there. 3.6 the gap. Now it's on Jackson Lindsay to try to open this thing back up. He's had a rough few laps. Can't let him get too in his own head about this. Oh, a little sideways coming back onto the start straight. And I'll have Lane Burks, my statistician, remind me, I don't believe Lindsay's won a main event yet. He's been close, I know. Did he win one last year? Oh, Wyatt Grant inside in the sand. What a move to get back by Schiabro for second. Just appears out of nowhere into your living room, and he's back through. A little short on the quad, still goes for the triple. Doesn't want to let Schiabro through again. And poor Ethan Lenhart is like, please, guys, I kind of don't want to have to keep letting you guys through, but he does. Oh, no! Jackson Lindsay down from the race lead, just like that in the whoops. Up the inside to take it over is Wyatt Grant. 1.5 minutes plus a lap to go, and Schiabro faltering just a little bit. Oh, it's get nervous time. Wyatt Grant is 1 minute and 20 seconds plus a lap away. from his first career 250 main event win, and Schiabro's going to try to run him down. The difference of experience in this game between these two is immeasurable. A 14-year career versus one that is on year 3. And both of them somehow might end up with their first career 250 wins in the same season, 2 weeks apart from each other. We can't put the cart in front of the horse just yet as Wyatt Grant makes a couple mistakes on the on-offs. And Schiabro will see that time go down and sense an opportunity. Don't forget, Jackson Lindsay's still back here. And Christopher Harris, who won the heat race tonight, is knocking on the door for a podium. Oh, if you're Wyatt Grant, you're begging time to go just slightly faster so you come across with one to go this time by, but he might not get it. And a fair point, Jubble Dunk in chat says that Saru said that Squiddy's career almost as long as Wyatt has been alive, which is true. Oh, this is going to be so close. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. White flag in the air for Wyatt Grant. He got it by barely a second. And it's 1 to go here in Glendale. Oh, he's getting a little wayward. Jumps off track. Still goes for the triple. Gonna have to keep that in mind because he can't let Schiabro get too close now for penalties' sakes. Oh, he's so nervous. Got to get through these whoops clean. Oh, he's hopping. Oh, but he's good. Schiabro's charging, though. Schiabro is absolutely ripping again. And Grant's just trying to be steady. We can see how the body English is a little less so than what we saw early in the race, and Schiabro's still there in the background. 3 around the corner, 2 across the start straight. And he's got 2 sand sections away from making this thing happen. The son of Josh Grant comes to MX Simulator, learns the ropes, learns how to get better at the game, works his way to the top, and here it is. First career main event win. Wyatt Grant wins here in Glendale. Schiabro will settle for second, but a huge points night as Cash Woods looks like he'll get 8th, and Christopher Harris gets to the podium. P3 for the 112. What a ride as Jackson Lindsay holds on for 4th. Jackson Vick gets to 5th. Bodie Parker 6th. Dan White 7th. And Cash Woods, barring a late pass here from Carson West, will get 8th in this race. He's trying to get through the sand clean one more time. And Cash Woods does hold on for 8th, and instant disconnection. Similar to T-Lang in the LCQ, you know Cash Woods is going to be unhappy with that. And it looks like Carson West may have got him on penalties anyway, as we see timing and scoring update. So that is going to be P9 for Cash Woods, which I believe is 13 points, versus 22 for Schiabro. That is a 9-point swing. We're down to 20 in this 250 West Championship. But unbelievable. Wyatt Grant, your winner here tonight. Oh, that's awesome. What a feeling that should be for him as well. And he did have some cuts, but Schiabro had more in the end. And it's actually 21 points Cash Woods has over Schiabro. 21. So there is the difference, 111 to 90. But the story from Glendale, Wyatt Grant, first career 250 Supercross win in MX Simulator. Well done, son. That was awesome. Awesome stuff. Had over 500 people of you watching that one live as Wyatt Grant stamps his ticket in the history books. Incredible stuff. And now we got a 450 main event to try to figure out what's going on. We saw Seth Carr struggle in his heat race. Braden Carter won. Does he get his first win of the season? I don't know, but it's going to get so dang good. I don't know, Chase Studevant, what Blair said on the new format. If you're talking about the thing where he says that SMX Next should be East-West and 250 should be a national championship. People probably won't like my opinion of this, but I kind of believe that the second you put the 250s West and East as a national championship underneath the 450 class, prestige of the 450 class gets even more diminished to the point where the being able to tell the difference between the two for the casual fan already is kind of difficult, like especially because Deegan, who's the biggest star of our sport right now from a fan base standpoint, is in the 250 class and he's getting the biggest cheers and boos and all that stuff like that. So yeah, I don't think that they should do a national 250 Supercross Championship, my opinion. But so Chase Donovan says that the 250 should be triple crowned every weekend, but nah, I'm not there either. I don't really like that either because first of all, how do you fit it in the format? I get you start off with race 1, then 450 heats, and then race 2, 450 LCQ, race 3 before the main. But there'd still be big gaps in between, and it'd be kind of an annoying fan viewing standpoint. So I don't like that. I kind of like what we have right now. I like that the Triple Crown is 3 races. It goes well with the word triple. Yeah, I don't know. I don't disagree with Blair's takes like that much. Like, I think he has great ideas on stuff. But for me, I just don't like the idea of a 250 National Supercross Championship. But that's the point, Doc, is that a casual fan should have to wait to see 250 riders because they are the lesser series. The 450 class is the superstars. The 450 class is the one you should see every week. So you shouldn't have to, or you shouldn't go to the race every week and see the not superstars of the sport kind of thing. Or like expect them every week. So I don't know. I digress. Let's get it from round number 5 of the Supercross and MX Simulator, Glendale, folks. Let's bring the heat in the desert. Drop the gate. .313 up the inside. That is Bryce Whelan, hole shot artist of his own. Gets to the stats guy hole shot line first. He's out front here in the main event. Seth Shirley, a great start. Braden Carter up the inside trying to get into second place, and he will do so. Seth Carr is 4th. Is Carter trying to go for the lead? Let's see. That sand on the inside works, but oh, it's just not enough as Whelan holds on. Oh, Carter's going to go to the outside of the sand. Whelan inside. Going to be close, coming to the line, side by side over the line. Braden Carter leads lap number 1. Seth Shirley's going to shoot to the inside and go to second place with him. And it looks like Carr may have gone down. He is not in this mix. Look at Shirley quadding over trying to get into the race lead. Not there just yet. Carter versus Seth Shirley out front. Bryce Whelan in 3rd. Arnbrister, Horn, Jack Mark, Nick Sellen, Alexis Leclerc, Ryan Chowsey, Jeremy Siebold, your top 10. And Seth Carr is in 21st place. Seth Shirley trying to get the lead clawed away from Carter. Doesn't do it just yet. Oh, man, that quad is going to be the difference maker in that rhythm section, and Shirley's down. Just as I say it, he gets it wrong, and that is all she wrote for Seth Shirley out front, at least for the time being. More riders going down, coming across the start straight. I think that was Chowsey laying on the deck. Tough break for him. And then finally, oh, Carr's down again in the mechanics area. Wow. 20th place. Well, we've seen him charge through the field before. Was, I mean, unbelievably last in Anaheim 2 weeks ago and got all the way back to 4th, I believe. Can he do it again? He's going to have to because his nearest championship rival, Braden Carter, is sitting real pretty out front right now with not a lot of heat from some of the top echelon of competition in this game. So this is Carter looking for win number 33. I don't know. Lane Burks is probably going to tell me I'm wrong. Should have looked at the all-time list before I started this year, but that's okay. Carter just absolutely sprinting right now. 102.3 last time by. Only had one rider on the track faster than him, that of Alec Horn. Now Carter lays in a 101.7. 101.7 Braden Carter, new fastest lap of the race. And boy, oh boy, was Lane Burks quick on the draw with that graphic on screen for you guys. Well done to him. So it's Carter, Whelan, Arnbrister now into a podium spot. This is one of the best rides of the year so far for Jay-Z. '37 of Alec Horn coughed up that position to him by the looks of it. And Nick Sellen, the German, up into the top 5. Looks like he just got around Jack Mark, Alexis Leclerc, Seth Shirley, and Eagland just behind these guys. Every time Nick Sellen shows up in races this series, it's always like he's right off the cusp of winning as Alec Horn goes down from 4th and all these guys are going to go by. But yeah, I feel like Nick Sellen's been battling for wins in this series before, and then he just shows up and he's just right into the top 5, no problem. I mean, I get it. He's one of the most talented dudes in this game, but golly, I wish we could see him for a full season of the NA series. And there you go. Points as they run show a telling tale. Braden Carter would take over the championship lead if it stays status quo right now. Of course, still so much racing left to go, and Carr's already clawed all the way up to 13th place. But this is going about as well as you could hope if you're Braden Carter. Just trying to keep the championship close. Speaking of championship, here is the defending champ, Colby Eagland. Gets the quad a little bit wrong right there, and Leclerc might take advantage. And thank you to Jacob Hubbard, who I'm sure told Alexis Leclerc to run his correct Filski and Snowboard Honda. And he is to a quad line that he's going to almost land on Colby Eagland with, and instead almost pass his teammate Jacob Arnbrister around the outside with. So there you have it. Leclerc, gets stood up and gets taken down. Got stood up on the inside line right there, and with no place to go for the one of Colby Eagland, he just kind of taps him and goes down. I will say, Colby Eagland is, maybe it's the Canadian in him, but I feel like he's one of the most well-respected guys on the track. And it's cool that he's won a championship in this game, but I don't hear many people say many bad things about Eagland. Just a solid dude. And I'm sure that he'll talk to Leclerc after the race and say that he didn't mean to take him down right there, was really trying to get stopped in time. But what are you going to do? Sometimes it's just the way it goes. Battle for second brewing. Bryce Whelan on Nick Sellen, or perhaps the other way around. I think Nick Sellen just got by Bryce Whelan, actually. .102.6 last time by for Nick Sellen, was actually faster than Braden Carter. The fastest lap of the race was put down by P7, that of Seth Shirley, a 101.5. And an interesting tidbit going on back here is that Seth Carr is already in 8th and looking at 7th and 6th right in front of him. So it's honestly a shame because it seems like he and Carter were set to have quite a bit of a duel tonight, just on raw pace. And instead, we're going to be watching an all-time ride through the field by Seth Carr. I mean, he crashed and was 20th, got to like 16th, and then crashed and went back to 20th again. And we're 6.5 minutes into this race. He's already 8th. And he's going to go to 7th and then 6th as Bryce Whelan was down. I think Jack Mark may have also been down. All the fast guys are working their way to the box at the moment, but how far will they get is a telling question as Seth Carr sees Alec Horn jump off the track in front of him. Oh, Carter was down. Wait a minute. Nick Sellen has got the number 2 machine of Carter right in front of him, and this could turn into a bit of a race. Two of the best on either side of the pond. Oh, Sellen through the flying saucer. That's got to be a bit of cuts right there. Could Nick Sellen win this race? I just gave a whole monologue about how every time he shows up, hasn't yet won one of these NA races, but he's always there lurking. and seemingly so close to doing it. Could this be the night? Braden Carter certainly hopes not. But I'll tell you one thing that is trending in an interesting direction already with this race is if Carter has one more legs off crash, I would almost suggest he's in the zone to get caught by Seth Carr, who's putting down some ridiculous times. Although Carter just lays in a new fastest lap at a 101.4. So we're playing a little bit of cat and mouse right now out front. We're doing anything you can do, I can do better kind of thing. And Carter has already had one crash, can't afford another now. But he is laying some quick laps down. Again, Nick Sellen trying to keep it close. And Seth Carr, oh my gosh, just put down a 1 flat .9 in race conditions. He's going triple quad double across the start, and he can see Seth Shirley in front of him. Look at that. Quad. Easy! Oh, no. I thought that angle was a tad aggressive with Seth Carr landing really nose high right there. And poor Alec Horn, the second he gets to him, goes down. I did not think that was going to work out well, and should have said it when I believed it. But sometimes I just see these guys do ridiculous things and it works. But that angle of attack was way too much to try to think that you'd land on the rear tire and it would work. So down goes Seth Carr. That opens up our top 5 a little bit more again. Carter, Sellen, and yes, indeed, Seth Shirley has made the pass on Colby Eaglin. He's up to 3rd from the LCQ. Won the LCQ, had to fight his way to the win to even get there. But this is a different Seth Shirley than we saw at the first 3 rounds of this series. He was not that bad at the opener. He was close. And a 9th, I believe, at San Diego, then missed the main at A2. Trending in the wrong direction. Needed a big turnaround. And then goes 3-2-2 at Houston. And that put him right back on track. Or so it seems. I mean, he did have to go to the LCQ tonight, but the speed is clearly back. Raw speed we've come to expect from the Seths in this game. Seth Carr and Seth Shirley, both some of the fastest to do it. Now Seth Carr lays down a 1 flat .3. Oh, my goodness. Must be a little bit mad after that crash, dare I say. Wait a minute. Change for the lead up front. Nick Sellen has taken it over. Missed where Braden Carter went down. But Sellen to the front. So Nick Sellen leads from Braden Carter in the year of our Lord 2026 at Glendale. How about that? Seth Shirley is still in it. Then Eaglin and Carr. I mean, this could realistically turn into one hell of a race down the stretch because Carter is going to just raw pace it back to Sellen. We know he's got the speed to do it. Calm down, Saru. Even if D. Davis gets 9th, he has to be top 10 in points. We do it by points, not by last week's result. But yes, I mean, a D. Davis intro would be sick as Ryan Chousey comes over the berm backwards and scares the living daylights out of Braden Carter. Look at these lappers, man. This is a lot to digest. Oh, Nick Sellen made a mistake, but Carter didn't actually get the rhythm either. And Chousey's, I mean, he's got the blue flag, man. He's got to get out of the way. He's catching Sellen. He's not in this fight. Dude, you got to get out of the way. There you go. And he hits a top block and goes down. So all for naught, really. And instead, we got a race for the lead brewing. Carter has caught Nick Sellen. Seth Carr, by the way, is 8 seconds behind this battle. Shirley 7 back. Carr 8 back. And Sellen blows the rhythm and costs him the race lead. Carter back to the front. I don't think Sellen wants to let him go just yet. Look at this. Might get to the inside. So Carr as they run, would retake the championship lead. Look at Nick Sellen down the inside of the whoops. Not there just yet. Ooh, jumped off the track. Double pits to Chesty and down. So that's going to give Seth Shirley and Seth Carr a chance to go by. Shirley will take it and pass. Does Carr as well? Yes, into third. So Seth Carr up all the way up to third place in this race. And Sellen goes from battling for the lead to off the podium just like that. That is how tight it still is late in this 450 main event. Ooh, Carter misses timing in the rhythm twice, and he's going to have to double, triple now. That's a slow line, and now Shirley and Carr are going to get the ball rolling. Nick Sellen's still back there. So let's see what it looks like to watch Seth Carr from the behind view. And will Sellen keep him close, or is Carr just going to pull away? I mean, it's already 1.6. Sellen gets that inside line pretty greasily, though. Oh my gosh. That was going bad for the entire whoop section and somehow survived to the end of it. So Carr trying to close up on Shirley as Carter was down with the race lead. Seth Shirley takes it over in Glendale. What a race, and Carter's off the track in the sand, and there goes Seth Carr. A golden opportunity served up on a platter, and Carr has spent 14 minutes throwing it away. Unbelievable. So now it's Seth Shirley's turn to lead this race as Carr tries to come from 20th to win this thing, which is just unbelievable if he makes that happen. And if you're Braden Carter, you got to be wondering what has happened in this race to allow the 6 to be back in front of him. Oh, Shirley going for a bit of a ride. 5 minutes and some change plus a lap to go. Top 3 separated by 4 seconds. Nick Sellen still back there, just 6 off the lead. So now I almost want to stay with Shirley because I feel like, as he cases the quad. Hold on to it, Sunshine. And Carr just out here greasing the quad. Oh my gosh, these guys have got to be kicking themselves. And that is Carter down again, coming onto the start straight. Nick Sellen jumps over him, and Braden Carter's chance at a race win and maybe a podium is about done in this race. So is it Shirley versus Carr once again? We saw this exact same scenario last week in Houston, and Carr was able to get the job done. But can Shirley hold off the best in the game at this current time? 4 minutes and a lap to try to make it happen. And Carr is unbelievable how he has gotten back to this point. 102.1 last time by to the 103.1 out of Shirley. Times are starting to drop a little bit off of the pace we saw mid-race. I think that's just track conditions taking shape. Shirley going back to the quad. Gets it. That's going to be critical if he can do that because Carr is starting to get it consistently again when it was his kryptonite early in the race. All right, lap time check. Let's take a look. Give you guys an idea what Shirley runs up the road and then tell you what Carr does. Shirley goes 102 flat, 101.3, excuse me, out of Carr. 101.3. Oh, that quad is risky, but he goes for it and gains even more time. We're down to about a second between the two of them. Battle is on at Glendale for the win. Shirley needs Blakely to get out of the way next. And there is Carr just lurking in the background. Shirley goes back to the triple quad double. Got to move, Blakely. Got to move. Does Shirley go for the quad with Blakely sitting right here? He can't. He simply cannot, and Carr can't either. So that's critical. Carr goes for the quad single, and Blakely just gets out of the way and lets both of them go. That's the difference between the two of them, though, with 2.5 left plus a lap. Outside versus inside in the sand. I don't know why Carr keeps going here. I think it's getting a little too chunked in those transitions. Now the 71 of Devin Davis. Next for Shirley to lap. Got to be careful with the crossing over. D. Davis a little bit of a seat hump in midair to say, go on, buddy, go on. Win this thing. Oh, but Carr is sitting just in his shadow still. And Shirley up on top of the whoops, rider down in this berm, but off the track, thankfully, for both of them. So now Carr has got to get by D. Davis, while Shirley is trying to lap Padani on the 33. So now Carr's got to get both of them. And this just shows the tough nature of trying to get around lap traffic with these guys so close together. Oh, man. Carr lucky not to have D. Davis go right. And now Padani concedes as well. And back to a square race between these two. 1.4 between them. This is going to come down to the wire. And Shirley is doing everything he can to hold on to it. Carr is down in the sand. Oh, what a weird place to go down. And that is going to probably do it. Couldn't quite see how it happened. I just saw the legs fly up. Have to imagine the front end slid over one of those singles. And now this is Shirley's race for the taking. So if you're Shirley here, you could back it down and knock over the quad lines and still be safe. And look, there it is. Triple, double, single across. I mean, it's not slow either to do that. You're only losing like a tenth or two maybe. But this will be slow if he doesn't quad here. Does he go for it? No. So he's backed out of the challenge. He knows race management is crucial here. Stay on the track, stay on two wheels. That's what's going to win him this race. Meanwhile, Carr is not out of the woods yet for Braden Carter to get back to him. Carter's still on the charge. And Carr, I wonder, maybe a bit floundered by what just happened. Again, weird spot to go down. And I have to imagine it's exactly that. Inside in the sand, pushing to try to make it work. Because it is faster if he could get it, but front end just had to have gone over the rut or something like that. And Carter, meanwhile, is saying, oh, I'm going to go run you down then. I want to win this championship too. And instead of losing 2 points to him, how about I gain those 2 points back? He is on his teammate. So Shirley's still sneaking away. He's going to get the white flag next time by. Carter is starting to feel the heat, though, from Braden Carter. We thought this would be for the race win. It's for second place, though, and Carter's back by. Just simply smoother through the rhythm section. Carr jumped off the track. And that is 2 crucial championship points for Braden Carter if he stays in this spot. Wait a minute. Shirley was off the track in the sand. Shirley was down. And now Carter can sniff the win, but how much does he want to risk? White flag about to come out. And our top 3 are separated by less than 3 seconds with the white flag in the air. Blakely just lets him go. Oh, Shirley didn't get the rhythm. Carter going for the alternate. Shirley around D. Davis once again. And D. Davis just letting these guys go. Carr is still lurking there too. You cannot make a mistake here for Carter. Shirley down in the whoops from the lead. And it takes Carr with him. Braden Carter to the lead on the last lap of the race. Unbelievable. I cannot believe that just happened. And Shirley picks it up still in P2. But what an opportunity thwarted. He got sideways into the tough blocks, and it's over from there. It is impossible to bring those back. And Carter, who was in third place a lap and a half ago, has this one land in his lap. He stole it away from Seth Carr with 2 to go and steals it away from Carter, or from Shirley on the last lap. Braden Carter, his first win of 2026, takes Glendale. And Shirley versus Carr, they come together on the start straight. It's not over yet for second. The fight is on to the flag, and it's going to be Carr picking up P2. Shirley third. Oh, he's going to be pissed. Going to be so pissed at that. Sully, we talked about him, not even 1 second of this race, but in valiant fourth place, and Eaglin ends up in fifth. What a race. Nick Sellen, Alexis Leclerc, Walter Gebhardt down before the line's going to cough it up to Caleb Hall for P8. Gebhardt ninth by the nose over his teammate Seabolt. And Padani 11th, Alec Horn, Jack Mark, D. Davis a lap down. Blakely Deering, Chelsea Arnbrister, O'Brien, Dickerson, Whelan, and Castellaneta was your final order here this evening. But that last lap and a half, really unreal. And Braden Carter gets in the win column for 2026 as he takes Glendale when it really looked very unlikely. He led a lot of this race, found a way to throw it away, and somehow, some way, the MXM gods repay him. He fights back around Seth Carr, and on the last lap of the race, Seth Shirley throws it away. Unbelievable. Wow, what a race. What a race that was. Still coming down from it for sure, but that is why we show up here every week to watch MX Simulator Pro Racing, brought to you by Underground RC. Unbelievable. And a championship fight that I feel like is still well and alive and spicy because Carter just gained 3 points back. It's now 12 between him and Seth Carr. When Carr has been so dominant to start this year, he's only 12 up. That is not that much, especially in MX Simulator, where we see how wild things can get. I mean, shoot, you go back to the heat races tonight. Seth Carr borderline could have missed the heat or missed the main out of the heat and had to go to the LCQ, and who knows what happens there. We've seen many a champions, and including championship leaders, straight up not make main events, so that is still certainly on the cards moving forward. And next week we head to a doozy of a race in Seattle. Who knows what that track will bring? I'm sure the Race Factor Gaming track crew won't make it as gnarly as what we'll see in real life, but it'll still be a tough one for those guys. A bit of those moon dirt conditions, softer conditions, track breakdown a little bit there more than what we are used to seeing basically here at Glendale. And through the first 4 rounds, they've all been pretty hard packed as well. So cannot wait to see what happens next week, especially on the heels of that tremendous 450 race. So many a congratulations to Braden Carter. And if you missed it for our 250 race, a huge congratulations. First career 250 main event win for Wyatt Grant over there as well. What a damn night of racing, man. That was awesome. Called some great stuff. I missed my buddy Andrew Wood in the booth, but he joined us in the chat a little bit later in the evening and said he's doing okay, coughing up a lung, but trying to feel a little bit better. So we look forward to seeing him back in the booth with us next week. So that is going to do it for us here at Start Your Systems. Huge thank you to everyone who tunes in every single week. We hope to keep having these huge numbers watching these races. It makes it possible for myself and Andrew Wood to come and call these races for you guys. Also, big thanks to Underground RC, Filski and Snowboard, Nexus, District Designs, RaceFactoryGaming.com, of course, are putting on the event. Spin Quest as well, also coming on board this year. That's cool for them to be here. So thanks to them. Big thanks to Evan Holt, Carl Novak behind the scenes, Jacob Hubbard, Luke Scheffler, Tyler Lang, Lane Burks, everyone that's making this possible for us to get a great show out for you guys every week. Thanks so much to them. And that is it for us here at Round 5 at Glendale. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week for Seattle. So long for now.